All right, so this is quiz 2.5, question 6 through 9. Question says, use the following information to answer question 6 through 9. The following Venn diagram was formed by using the information below gleaned from a survey in which shopping mall customers were asked about the kinds of items they purchased from the store during the past 6 months. The number of respondents is listed in the region of the Venn diagram. So it says, survey provided during the past month, check any of the kinds of products that have purchased from this mall. Okay, and then they had like 4 options. When this results were examined, it was ascertained that 49 purchased food. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause this just a second. Okay, so they either provided that they had purchased food, which is marked with an F, A, which is household appliances, C, which was marked for clothing, or other. And we're going to let other not be a 4th circle. It's going to be what's outside of here. All right, so 49 purchased food. So keep in mind that when they're saying the 49 purchased food, that all 4 of these regions together need to add to 49. So we can't just put 49 here. It would assume that that's food and not either the other 2. So that is not one region. We need to wait to fill that in. 29 purchased appliances. So that would be this here. All 4 regions add to 29. 67 clothing. That's these 4 regions adding to 67. 10 food and appliances. So if you look at this circle, so if you thought of this food circle being blue and the A circle being red, the blue and the red would be kind of this eyelet region. These 2 regions together are going to end up adding to 10. So we're getting closer, but we can't put 10 right here because this would mean they have food and appliances but not clothing. And this would apply they have all 3. And then clothing and appliances here, it adds to 13, and food and clothing, that adds to 7. And 3 purchased all 3. Okay, so there's our starting place. There's 3 right here. So backing out of that, they said that 7 did food and clothing. So here's food and here's clothing. So food and clothing are these together. That adds up to 7, meaning this has to be 4. They said 13 did appliances and clothing. Again, appliance circle and the clothing circle kind of intersect right here, together adding to 13. We've already accounted for 3, meaning that there has to be 10 that had appliances and clothing, but not food products. And then the last 10 had food and appliances, which would be these 2 regions together. 3 has been accounted for, so 7 had food and appliances only. Okay, continuing to go backwards. Now, I guess I should finish our sentence here. It said 40 purchased none of the 3. So it would be somewhere out here. I'm putting it here, but anywhere outside of this kind of hazard-looking 3 circles would be completely appropriate. If you are not putting a box around your 3 circles, then you have not established a universal set, and that may be what's going on, but I think you said you were off by 4, so maybe not. All right, let's finish our Venn diagram. So then still backing up, so it said 67 had clothing, so all 4 of these regions need to add up to 67. So 67 minus 4 plus 3 plus 10. So essentially there's already 17 that's accounted for, minus that 63, I believe that's 50. Was that clothing? Yes, it was. Okay. And then 29 had appliances. So these 4 regions together equal to 29. So 29 minus the 7 plus the 3 plus the 10 that we'd already accounted for. So essentially there's 20 that's right here minus the total of 29 means that there are 9 that bought appliances only. And then lastly, finding our last region right here, that food only, they told us that 49 purchased food, meaning all 4 of these guys need to add up to 49. Now, we have already accounted for what looks like 14, so 7 plus 3 plus 4. So 7 plus 3 plus 4. These are 3 of the 4 regions. 7 and 7 is 14. So 14 minus 49 is 5, 35. Okay, so 35. So honestly, that is 90% of the battle when it comes to these problems. They are going to ask us some follow-up questions, but as of right there, that is a big part of the problem. All right, so the actual question for number 6 says, how many purchase both food or supplies? The key word there is or. So that does indicate a union, food or appliances, excuse me. So we are looking at anything that is in food or appliances. If you read that to be food and appliances, that may be what's going on. But let's look. So those in food would be, and I'm just going to circle or shade. If you're a visual person, this kind of helps, doing some shading as you are doing this to kind of make sure you've caught all the regions. So food or appliances is, well, first of all, food is anywhere that is in the orange. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. And then the appliances is anything marked in the red. So if you notice, it's not where they overlap. We're not looking at the orange and the red region. We're looking at the orange or the red region. So that would be the 35 plus the 4 plus the 3 plus the 7 plus the 10 plus the 9. Now do notice that we did not add that 7 and 10 multiple times. We would not double count those people in our survey, and so we did not double count those in our union or our this or this group. This does give us a total of what's 10, 20, 29, 33, what is that, 68. All right, so that does give us our solution for, I think this is question number 6. Going down from there, how many purchase both food and clothing but not appliances? I'm going to go back to my unmarked up one here. So food and, hold on. How many purchased clothing and food but not appliances? So here's our clothing circle. Here's our food circle. So food and clothing, if that was the whole question, there'd be 7. That would be our region where food and clothing both occurs. But if you look closer, this circle also includes the appliances. So this is all 3. That's how we would describe that region. Whereas this are those that are food and clothing, but notice it is outside of the A circle. So these would be food and appliances, but not, or excuse me, food and clothing, but not appliances. So that would be 4 instead of the 7, because the 7 would be food and clothing. But now keep in mind that but is also a conjunction just like and is. So but and are interchangeable. So clothing and food would be 7, but adding that caveat of it being not appliances would mean that it only is this region here alone, which is 4. So part 7 should be 4 for your answer.